Today on Judge Faith, a near-fatal car wreck brings a mother and her son to court.
He can fake all he wanted to me, but I can look at his eyes. He done lost that zest he used to have.
I like to drink. I ain't got an addiction. I'm not an alcoholic.
He's my only brother. I'm concerned for him. I just want him to straighten up.
You were one more roll over from being dead in that car accident.
Plaintiff Deborah Pridgeon says she bailed her immature son out of jail when he got a DUI, and he needs to grow up. She's suing for bail money. She's accompanied in court today by Ariel Pridgeon. Defendant Eldra McAdoo says he doesn't owe his mother money because he never asked her to bail him out of jail, and he has other bills to pay.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Pridgeon versus McAdoo.
Thank you, Juan. Deborah Pridgeon?
Yes.
You are suing the defendant, Eldra McAdoo?
Yes, ma'am.
For $340 for the return of bail money?
Yes.
And you brought a witness with you today, ma'am, and that is your daughter,
Yes.
Ariel Pridgeon?
Yes.
Okay. Why don't we start with you, Ms. Pridgeon? Tell me what's going on here.
This is my only son. And me and him used to be close. And we used to share things. And when he got in the middle school, things went going down here. And so he wanted that thug life and everything. And he used to be on honor roll, and then he didn't want to. Thugs don't make good grades. That's what he told me.
So you say you started having problems with him when he was in middle school?
Yeah, in middle school.
Okay.
And in high school, I wanted him, I told him, I said, Elder, you're not studying. I said, you're not bringing home any book. And I said, you're going to fail.
What kind of grades was he getting?
He wasn't getting good grades.
What was going on?
Nothing was going on, Your Honor. But I don't see how my good grades and me growing up, what it got to do with these $340?
But, Elder, I want her to know how me and you is.
Yeah, we gonna always.
What is your relationship with your mother like?
Oh, I love my mama. I swear I do.
Okay.
But sometimes she can be like overprotective. I'm 28 years old.
Okay.
I'm doing good for myself.
What do you do for a living?
I weld and work on trains. I'm at GBW World Car. I'm a train repairman, level 2.
Okay, what kind of hours do you work?
6 to 4:30, 6 days a week. So
you work hard?
Yes, ma'am. I have time to do hardly nothing.
Okay. Do you have kids?
Yes, ma'am. I got 2 good girls.
Okay. And so you take care of your children?
Yes, ma'am.
What happened? You said there was a day back in April.
Yeah,
there was an incident that occurred.
I was over there helping him clean up because, like I said, he didn't have no girlfriend.
Helping him clean up what?
His home.
Okay.
And so we been him having a good time that day. And I said, when I heard that first beer pop, and like I said, I don't.
First beer?
Beer.
Okay.
And
were you there as well?
No, I wasn't there, but I've been around him when he does drink and all, and he turns into a totally different person.
What do you mean by that?
His attitude, he gets really mean and negative, and it's just not good.
Oh, man.
Okay, do you think he drinks too much?
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
Do you say that what happened is a result of him drinking?
It is.
So you heard a beer pop.
I heard a beer pop. And I said, well, I better go home because I don't want him drinking and driving. And I said, well, you run me home, and then you can go. I said, you can go back home and do what you want. He promised me that he was going home and be to himself. Oh, he wasn't going nowhere. He gonna stay there. Cause I've been talking about that drinking for a long time. And so
when did he start drinking?
He started drinking bad the last 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
And he drank more and more. And the next thing I know, I'm getting a phone call. Your son has been in a wreck. And that's every parent's nightmare, which he don't understand. I know that he don't even own no drug, but it can lead to that. And I'm scared I'm gonna lose my son. And all I wanted him to do is to listen to me, that before he loses his life, if he don't care about himself, at least care about his 2 little babies. They love him. They love him.
What happened, Mr. McAdoo?
Well, like she said, we was over there to my house. She wanted to clean up for me. I was like, all right, Mom. I took a vacation day that Saturday, so I was like, all right, Mom, this is my chill day, so I'm relaxing. I ain't studying about cleaning the house. Oh, I'm gonna clean your house. Okay, I'll come get you. So I went and got her, you know.
She comes over, she's helping you clean your house.
Yes, ma'am.
Like
she was
do.
cleaning my house. She wasn't helping me. I was sitting on the sofa.
She was cleaning your house?
Yes, ma'am, because
okay.
I had specifically told her this is my chill day. So
what happened?
I'm finna drink. I got me a 12-pipe, you know. I'm tired, so I've been working 6 days straight for almost 8 months, so.
I don't have a problem with drinking, but when you drink so much, you ain't never seen yourself drunk. You is really hard to get along with, and I'm scared that he gonna get around somebody, and none of his cousins gonna be around to come and dine, that somebody gonna hurt.
You drive her home, you drop her off, you come back, and you're drinking.
Yes, ma'am.
How much had you had to drink at that point?
I ain't had but like 2 beers before I took her home, and
right.
I drank like 4 or 5 more when
after you got back.
Yes,
okay,
ma'am.
so at this point you've had 7 or 8.
Yes, ma'am. I was laying on the sofa. I was dozing off, and my cousin, he came to the house. He was stranded in Rochelle, so he like a brother to me. And I was like, yeah, man, I'll take you home.
And you say, no, I've had 8 beers. I can't drive right now. You have to call a cab.
But yeah, Your Honor.
Or an Uber.
Yeah, Your Honor, but 8 beers don't tell you no. It tell you, let's go. My cousin needs me, so.
At least you being honest.
I was going, I took him.
At least
hold on, ma'am, please.
Okay.
We go to Hawkerville, and his girlfriend was at the party, so I was dropping him off with her, and I'm like, man, it's happening over here, so I'm finna get me some more, I'm finna drink some more. Like I'm saying, I'm not thinking, I'm just
You're already drunk?
Yes, ma'am, I'm just enjoying myself, you know?
So what happens? How much did you drink at the party?
Be honest with you, I can't remember.
How long were you there? Do you remember that?
No, ma'am.
Do you remember leaving the party?
I remember waking up in jail.
Coming up, was the accident a wake-up call?
You have 2 children. Do you love them?
Yes, ma'am, I love them.
Do you want to be around for them?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, it's not going to happen if you keep doing what you're doing. It's not going to happen.
Plaintiff Deborah Pridgeon says she bailed her son out of jail after he got a DUI, and now he won't pay her back. She's suing for bail money. Defendant Eldra McAdoo says he doesn't owe his mother money because he never asked her to bail him out of jail.
What happened? What ended up happening? You got back in your car.
I got back in my car.
You tried to drive home.
Tried to drive home.
And you got into a car accident.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me see the photos of your car.
Flipped 9 times.
Now y'all tell me. I got something to worry about. Now he was hanging out. You see that sunroof? He was hanging on the sunroof. If that car rolled one more time, it's rolled on top of him.
I had made it on the main highway. I guess I fell asleep or something.
On the highway?
Yes, ma'am.
And your car rolled over?
9 times in a field.
What happened? You went to the hospital?
I don't remember.
What happened? Who called you?
My little nephew's sister.
Okay.
She said, Elder done been in a wreck. Parents' worst nightmare.
You got a phone call 2 or 3 in the morning from one of your relatives. They told you he'd been in an accident. What happened?
I went to the jail that following morning. And I'm sitting up there. I didn't want him to be in jail. And I didn't want him to lose his job. I wanted my child with me. I should have took a picture. All this was swollen. The eye bloody red. Blood on his shirt. His mouth busted up. And tongue bitten. In his chest. He couldn't even breathe.
And what were your injuries?
I had 3 cracked ribs, a dislocated jaw, and...
So you get out and you find out that she's paid your $340 in bail. Why haven't you paid her back?
Well, because I didn't ask her to do it. I was asleep.
Excuse me?
I was asleep. Mom. Okay.
You say?
Okay.
No,
but hold on.
She didn't say that she asked you to do it, and that wasn't my question.
Yes, ma'am.
My question is, you know your mother, who I've heard is on a fixed income, went down to jail. I mean, you have a job because she bailed you out. You do understand that,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
You're going back to work because she bailed you out. So my question is, why wouldn't you just out of the decency and of your own moral compass say, I'm going to pay my mother back $340 after I was drinking, driving, passed out, was in a car accident, hurt, and in a jail cell. I need to get my life together, need to go back to work. My mother has paid me $340. Why is that not the least thing you can do?
Yes, ma'am. You don't get it, though.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm hurt up. I wasn't working. I've been out of work I was out of work for like 3.5 weeks. I wasn't getting paid. I ain't have any money. I'm thinking about how am I going to get to work. I'm trying to get me another car. And you want to talk about
Sir, this was back in April. You've been working for months now. You work how many hours a day?
10 hours a day.
How much do you make an hour?
$23.50.
That's one day. That's one day.
See?
There's no excuse. How often do you drink?
I drink occasionally.
How often do you drink, sir?
I have me 1 or 2 beers a day.
You drink every day.
Yes, ma'am. When I get off from work, I be tired.
And you drink beer.
Yes, ma'am.
And if you want me to believe that it's 1 or 2 beers a day, you're sadly mistaken. I can look in your eyes.
Can't you?
And tell.
Thank you.
That you drink a lot.
Thank you. Can't you tell?
What do you want to say?
I'm just saying that I'm worried about him. I'm concerned.
How much does he drink?
He drinks a lot. Every time I ever see him, he's always like has something in his hand. And basically, I'm just, he's my only brother. I'm concerned for him. I just want him to straighten up and not be so immature.
Had you ever been arrested before?
Years ago, like in 2007.
You were convicted for selling marijuana and possession of firearms?
Yes, possession of a firearm. It was just in my car. And
Okay, because you were selling weed at that point. You were selling drugs, right? It sounds like since then, since 2007, you haven't been arrested except for this DUI, and you work 6 days a week for months at a time. You're going to work every day. You're not selling drugs anymore, presumably.
No, ma'am.
And so it sounds like you've actually done the right thing because you're not trying to be about that life anymore. But I think the problem is, at 28 years old, I think you're an alcoholic.
Yeah, and he done hit rock bottom. He can fake all he wanted to me, but I can look at his eye. He done lost that zest he used to have. He done lost it. And for your little girls, Elder, them babies love you.
But Mom, tell the truth.
It's only a matter of time. If you're going to continue to drink like this and drive, you are one more roll over from being dead in that car accident.
Yes, ma'am.
And you have 2 children. Do you love them?
Yes, ma'am. I love them.
Okay. Do you want to be around for them?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's not going to happen if you keep doing what you're doing. It's not going to happen. And you don't think you have a problem?
Yes, ma'am. I'm going to slow down.
Okay, so you understand.
Yes,
you understand you have an issue.
I understand.
You have an addiction.
I like to drink. I ain't got an addiction. I'm not an alcoholic.
Yes,
I just like to drink when I get off from work. I be tired.
I actually have someone who I want you to meet today.
Okay.
He's a friend of mine. His name is Johnny Wembry. He's a life coach and a motivational speaker. He's author of the book From Hood to Doing Good. And I thought that he would be someone that you need to meet.
Okay.
Johnny, would you please come out?
Coming up on Judge Faith, a son is given support.
Listen to me, Eldra. It's not too late. You could turn this mess into a message and help a lot of people.
Plaintiff Deborah Pridgeon says her son owes her money after she paid to get him out of jail. She's suing for bail money. Defendant Eldra McAdoo says he doesn't owe his mother money because he has other bills to pay.
Thank you for being here. Have you had the opportunity to listen to the testimony from the witnesses today and listen to what Mr. McAdoo had to say?
Absolutely, without question.
Okay. I would like just take a moment and address him and the issues you've heard.
I apologize on behalf of any son that would ignore the love of their mother like this. My mother, I'm the youngest of 3 boys. I've got a brother serving 40 years in prison right now because of situations like this. And I would like to say to you that you have a problem. And if you don't vocalize what that problem is, if you're afraid to say it out loud, then you're always going to have that problem. Like Judge Faith said, and she's the reason I'm here, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. She has a lot of knowledge, she has a lot of background, a lot of wisdom, but she brought me here because she cared about this particular case. You're losing, bro. Look at me. You're losing.
Yep.
By the grace of God, you're still alive.
Yep.
You can't get something different without doing something different. You say you like to drink, look where that has gotten you. I read the profile, every single one of you said, we are a loving family.
Yep.
I love my mom.
Yeah, but listen, we are a loving family, but you're in court? She's suing you? How much longer do you want to have this problem? You're ignoring something. My father is an alcoholic. My first memory in life was living in a battered women's shelter because of what I went through in my life. The two most important things in your life right now should be your daughters. You would rather sacrifice a day off on a Saturday drinking instead of taking them to the park.
Exactly.
Bruh, look at me. You're losing. And you're deceiving yourself. You're saying, I'm not an alcoholic. Think about that word deception. I mean, would deception be deception if it were obvious? You'd be the last person to know because you're deceiving yourself. You have a problem. You deserve another chance. Listen, ex-drug dealer, me too. Felony arrest, me too. But now I speak all over the world. I'm a #1 best-selling author. I'm speaking in places like Jerusalem and Israel, throughout Australia, all over the world. And who would ever think that someone with my past could turn their life around and be a voice to the masses around the world? I'm not qualified according to the system. I am qualified because I turned my mess into a message. And listen to me, Eldra, it's not too late. You could turn this mess into a message and help a lot of people. And here's what I want you to understand. Your past doesn't have to determine your future. Where you come from, it doesn't have to dictate where you're going. And right now, you're going to walk out of this courtroom, you got to make a decision, bruh. You have a job today because of mama. And without a job, I'm sure she wouldn't be pressing you to pay up. But she's the reason you got a job. Do you understand that? Is it connecting?
Yes, sir. I get you loud and clear.
Can we allow him to respond to me just so I'll know?
Sure.
I get what you're saying, man, and yeah, I do got a problem.
Thank
I
you.
said it out loud.
Go hug your mother.
Thank you, Johnny. I mean, that was wonderful. Thank you.
You're incredibly
I appreciate
welcome.
you coming.
If you would allow me, I'm going to give you my information. And I don't do this a lot. I wrote my information on the card. You got access to me now.
Okay.
Look at me. You got access.
All right.
Use it. You got to do something different to get something different, my brother.
Yeah.
All right?
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
Now, do I really have to order you to pay this money, or are you going to pay it?
I'll go ahead and pay it.
Okay. Judgment for the plaintiff, $340. Good luck to all of you.
Thank you. I'll hold you to it. As a mother, I appreciate what Judge Faith done for us today, done for my son, and I hope he learned a lesson for it. And I'm grateful. Thank you, Judge Faith.
I want to say to my mama, I love you. Sorry for putting you through it.
Sisters at a standstill come to court to determine the owner of a car.
How often would you ladies go to the casino together?
Quite often.
What's quite often?
At least once a month. Sometimes twice. Sometimes, I guess, even more. She did not want her boyfriend to know that she had spent the money at the casino for the vehicle.
Because she lost money gambling. You agreed to come up with this fake bill of sale.
Yes.
Okay, why should I believe that?
And later, Facebook crushes changed their status. But then it got complicated.
You know, we look at my Facebook, I've never had a problem getting a man. You look at his, it's been desperate.
Is that how you meet people on Facebook? People who say they're single and looking for love?
Plaintiff Angela Heckman says her sister bought her car, but then stopped making payments. She's suing for the balance owed on the car. Defendant Christina Moore says she doesn't owe any money because she purchased the car outright but is afraid to drive it since her sister might repossess it at any moment.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Heckman versus Moore.
Thank you, Juan. Angela
Yep.
Heckman, you are suing the defendant, Christina Moore,
Yes.
for $1,100 for the balance owed on a used car.
Yes.
Okay, why don't we start from the beginning? You tell me what's going on here.
Hi, this is my sister, my best friend in the whole world. Excuse me, my everything. Anyways,
What about tissue?
about the last year and a half, my sister lived in a home, very abusive, and we tried our best to try to get her independent from that. Anyway, she was going to buy a car in December, and that didn't go through, and so I told her that I would sell her my car on payments.
Okay, and what do you say the agreement was about her purchasing the car?
The agreement was that she would pay $200 a month until July.
And what was the total selling price for the car?
The total sale was $13,000.
So you agreed to sell her the car for $1,300, and she would start paying you $200 what month?
1st of February.
And is that what the agreement was?
It was, but it was...
Okay, so why don't you give me some background and tell me how this all started?
My sister and I had gone up to the casino, and she kept wanting to borrow hundreds and hundreds. And finally I said, and I can't do this anymore. I have this other car I need to buy. And then she said, well, I'll sell you my car for $600 if you'll give me the money here.
So you're at the casino, she's gambling, and I guess losing, and asking you for money?
Yes.
And so you give her money at the casino with the agreement being, okay, I'm only going to pay $600 for this car?
Yes.
Okay. And then what happens next? You say that never happened?
Yeah, the car was a whole different arrangement. Yes, I did tell her that.
Let me see the bill of sale you say you had.
I did tell her, and this is her writing on top. My writing is on hers. We both wrote one. We both signed it.
Show that to her, please, before you show it to me, Juan, and just...
Yes.
Okay, let me see that. And how often would you ladies go to the casino together?
Quite often.
What's quite often?
Let's see. Well, you know what? At least once a month. Sometimes twice.
Okay.
Sometimes, I guess, even more. Well, I don't know. I don't keep track.
I mean, this is the original document, and it says here
She
you
has
agree
one,
to
too.
pay $1,300 in monthly payments to be completed by June of 2015.
Correct.
When you pay the final payment, she will provide you with a title and satisfaction of the bill of sale. And you, both of you sign it, and I guess your boyfriend signs this?
Yes, correct.
Okay, so what's the, I don't understand.
She did not want her boyfriend to know that she had spent the money at the casino for the vehicle. So I had agreed to kind of play with her story with the bill of sale and an extra $200 towards the vehicle to show her boyfriend that the vehicle was being purchased, although it had already been purchased. So you're saying that
because she lost money gambling.
Yes.
You agreed to come up with this fake bill of sale.
Yes.
That you would make monthly payments.
Yes.
But you had already paid her the $600
yes.
for the car? So and so you just agreed to come up with this after the fact?
Yes.
And then just to make the story look even better, you actually make a $200 payment the next month to keep the story going?
Yes, right in front
Okay,
of him.
why should I believe that?
Because
why would I believe that? Do you have any evidence to support what you're saying?
I have text messages between us that I have already paid her in full for the vehicle.
And she actually says that in text message?
Okay, here's one to where she says to me, I have a text message. Just got done telling me to pick it up. I'll be there with the tow truck. Goodbye. I said, yes, if you have $680, you may buy my car. And she said, heads up, you lying home wrecker. And then I stopped with that.
Let me see this, because I don't even understand what that means. How do I pull that back up? I touched something.
It goes to her pictures. Right
You
here.
might want to ask her.
There it is.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, you got it.
The reason as to why I feel you should believe me is because her boyfriend had said to me, I wish that I would have gotten with you instead of Angie. And that had upset her that he would say that to me.
He said that in front of her?
He didn't say it in front of her, and I didn't repeat it to her because I didn't want to hurt her feelings. but I had said it to somebody else, and they had said something to her.
Is that true?
Actually, he'd said that to her a while ago. Didn't matter. She was still mine, and I was still hers.
Okay, so he did say that to her.
Yeah,
he's still
the
your
home wrecking
boyfriend?
part is putting me in jail.
Is he still your boyfriend?
No.
So February 24th, she sends you a text message stating that she will not pay one more penny because your boyfriend and you have talked about it, and plain and simply, she doesn't owe you any more money than what she's already paid. You respond that your boyfriend told you that she was ripping you off, plain and simply.
I don't think that was my text message.
It is your text.
Is it? Well, if I'm being ripped off by her, it's because she won't pay me for my car. I said if I'm getting ripped off from her, she won't pay me for my car.
It's almost as if there's no understanding between the two of you as to what's going on here with this car.
Coming up, the sisters get shady.
Who has the title?
I do.
She was unable to put the vehicle in her name due to a DUI that she had received, so it was still in the original owner's name.
And later, the boys battle it out.
I called him and he said that I left because it's too much for me.
Did you say that to him?
I did not say that to him.
He told me that multiple times.
Not because of that. I left because he was abusive. He hit me multiple times.
Plaintiff Angela Heckman says her sister stopped making payments on the car she sold her. She's suing for the balance owed on the car. Defendant Christina Moore says she paid her sister up front for the car and doesn't owe any money.
Who has the car now?
It wasn't a fake.
You have the car?
Mm-hmm.
Who has the title?
I do.
She was unable to put the vehicle in her name due to a DUI that she had received, so it was still in the original owner's name.
This is why these kinds of car sales are never a great idea. The car breaks down, they don't want to pay anymore. Or they say, that wasn't our agreement. Whatever the agreement was, for whatever reason, they stop making payments and people end up here. That's why it's not a good idea. You're just thinking about today and not about tomorrow. If she wrecks the car, you're still on the hook. The best evidence in this case is this written bill of sale. And you submitted text messages to me trying to support your claim. The problem is they're all one-sided.
Right.
They're you saying, I paid for this car. Where's my title? But you don't have her responses. How do I know she didn't respond and say, what are you talking about? You owe me money. Pay me the money.
Right.
I'm ordering you to pay her $1,100, the remaining balance for the car, but I'm going to withhold that judgment until you can send to this court proof that you've signed over this title, that you can sign over a valid title to her. Once you do that, you will get your judgment enforced, $1,100 in favor of the plaintiff. That's my judgment.
Plaintiff Lorenzo Graham says his ex-lover is a lazy, irresponsible liar who promised to pay the rent after their breakup, but then bailed. He's suing for unpaid rent. Defendant Gerald Thomas says his ex-lover is a jealous, controlling man who bombarded him with fits of rage and kicked him out of their house. He's countersuing for pain and suffering.
Lorenzo Graham?
Yes.
You were suing the defendant, Gerald Thomas Jr.?
Yes.
For $600 for unpaid rent?
Yes.
And you are countersuing, sir, for $1,000 for pain and suffering?
Correct.
Okay, we'll start with you, Mr. Graham. Tell me how you know Mr. Thomas and what's going on here.
Originally, I met him. We were Facebook friends, and he would write depressing statuses such as, everyone's in a relationship but me. Why am I the only one that's single? You know, going on a rant about that type of thing. So I pretty much told him that he needed to refrain from making those type of comments because it made him seem desperate. Mm-hmm. So we had a...
Had the two of you met in person or just on Facebook?
No. It was
just
more of an...
Just on Facebook, correct.
Okay.
It was more of an annoyance that's what I was seeing on my timeline when everyone else was so positive, you know? So... we had a conversation from there, and then from there we sort of started texting and talking on the phone and that sort of thing.
So
and then,
you inboxed him on Facebook?
No, at this point
and told him to lighten up a little bit?
Yes. So we ended up having a conversation about other things outside of that, and then we ended up texting and having a conversation over the phone. And then
what did he write to you? I'm just curious.
He wrote to me, hey, how are you? You know, what's going on? Basically trying to figure out why I was writing those statuses. But, I mean, again, that's my private life. So for him to say that, I mean,
well,
it holds no basis.
It's not private when you're doing it on a website, but that's neither here nor there.
Is that how you meet people on Facebook?
No.
People who say they're single and looking for love?
Obviously,
no. It was more so me telling him that he needed to refrain from doing that and that it was just too much. And then as I got to talk to him outside of that, it turned out that he wasn't so bad outside of the whole depressing statuses. So, you know, we look at my Facebook, I've never had a problem getting a man. You look at his, it's been nonstop.
So you liked him when you met him?
I did, and obviously...
Did he look like his profile picture?
He did, obviously. Obviously, it was a mistake. The picture that he sent me was different than the picture that was on his profile, obviously in person.
But you ended up dating him.
I did end up dating him. I did end up liking him, his personality. He seemed very charismatic. He seemed very personable, very loving once we got into a relationship, but that turned later on in the relationship.
Okay.
He's a compulsive liar. The picture that was on my Facebook is the same picture that the same person that he met in person. Gerald has a tendency to lie, which is why we're here right now. When I first met him, I didn't get the impression that he was broke, but as you see, we're here today. When I met him, it was more so I started to feel sorry for him, which is why I felt that we had a connection in the first place. Because you hear someone telling you how their family life is, how their personal life is, how they're 24, they don't have a job, or how they completed some certificate program and they still haven't gotten anywhere in life, and how their family is real negative. I related to him on some of those issues, but Gerald is very lazy.
I can see where you said he has the bubbly, positive personality.
Exactly.
Yes.
Now you see.
He's very lazy, he's an opportunist, and he's used to be given handouts. He's not used to working for anything, and that's what I discovered.
But he was your boyfriend for a long period of time. You knew these things about him when you started.
Initially I didn't.
I mean, isn't that a red flag when someone says, why am I the only one still single?
No, that's relationship status. I didn't know that it was problems with his professional status as well. Those are two different things. He wasn't working, he wasn't doing all those things, but I liked him for him, so I helped him.
So the two of you move in together. Do you sign a lease?
Yes.
What happened? How did you end up moving or leaving out of this apartment that the two of you were living in?
I ended up leaving because he was he was physical with me. Mm-hmm. He hit me multiple times. No longer did I want to stay there and be subject to that. He was controlling, he was emotionally unstable, and he had problems of his own that I didn't know before I got with him. Had I known that, I would have never moved in, we would have never been together, he would have been by himself.
Coming up on Judge Faith, breakup texts reveal the bigger picture.
Did you kick him out?
I did. For lying and talking to other boys while I was at work.
He didn't tell me where he was going, so I texted him and I asked him, so you're not going to tell me where you're going? He texts me and says, if you text me again, it's going to be a problem.
Plaintiff Lorenzo Graham says his ex-lover promised to pay rent until the end of their lease, but then bailed. He's suing for unpaid rent. Defendant Gerald Thomas says he doesn't owe rent because his ex-lover forced him to vacate the apartment. He's countersuing for pain and suffering.
Were you hitting him?
No.
You don't sound very convincing.
He's not.
It's because the only thing that I
don't
will agree with...
Don't look down. The whole time you've been looking at me, talking to me this entire time, and now you look down when I ask you that question.
I've heard this story before plenty of times.
Did you put your hands on him?
No, I did not.
So you've never hit him?
No.
You've never laid your hands on him?
No.
Did you kick him out?
I did.
When?
A few times for lying.
Why?
And talking to other boys while I was at work.
Were you doing that?
I had male friends, but they were not... I wasn't talking to them to be in a relationship with them.
Okay.
And I explained that to him. He kicked me out over 8 times.
Tell me about the day you say he kicked you out.
I got home from work. We had already had an argument earlier that day. I wanted to come home from work and talk to him about our relationship and trying to basically reconcile. When I got home, basically he didn't want to reconcile. I said, well, what's the problem? Are you unhappy? Is it me? He said, basically, Joe, you can do what you want to do. It doesn't matter to me. So I said, okay, well...
So he didn't kick you out?
No, he did kick me out.
No, he told you could do what you wanted to do. It didn't matter.
He did, but that was the end of the relationship. Mm-hmm. The next day, he left that night at 2 a.m.
Okay.
He didn't tell me where he was going, so I texted him and I asked him, so you're not going to tell me where you're going? He said, why would I tell you where I'm going when we're not in a relationship? I said, that's the thing. We just broke up, so I still care about you. I still want to know what happens to you if something does happen. Fast forward, he texts me and says, if you text me again, it's going to be a problem. I said, okay. He said, and then he sent another text after that and said, pack your stuff and get out tomorrow.
Show me the text messages.
I don't have the text messages. We were on his account.
What do you say about how he left the home?
I called him and he said that I left because it's too much for me. I tried to work it out, but I've told you before that God has told me if I stayed in this relationship that I'm not going to get to where I want to be in life. And
did you say that to him?
I did not say that to him. I told him I left because he was abusive.
He told me that multiple times.
Not because of that.
Okay, so he didn't kick you out. You say you left because he was abusive?
I left because he was abusive.
Okay,
he
so
kicked
sir,
me out
that is
and I
no,
left.
that's not what you just said. That you said you left. You told him you left.
I left because he kicked me out.
That's not what you just said.
When you lie, it's hard to keep the story straight.
Stop. That's not what you just said. Listen, I have no doubt there was a lot of back and forth in this relationship. You say that you kicked him out multiple times. You returned to the relationship multiple times. It's somewhat of a classic codependent relationship. It seems to be somewhat unhealthy, but the two of you keep getting involved with each other. And frankly, this lawsuit may be another way for you to continue to stay in contact with him. You seem to have these arguments. You call him, you text him, you email him, I'm sorry, I can't live without you, I love you so much. But then you come into court, he's such a horrible person, he has no backbone, he doesn't work.
No, we haven't seen each other in
he's
over
a compulsive liar. But this is a person that you keep getting involved with over and over again.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
Why do you say that he was harassing you? These text messages seem to be very conversational, calm, polite. Hey, last time we texted, you said you would get your refund later this month. Just wanted to ask you when you will be able to give me your half. You consider that to be harassment? Emotional stress?
Not the text messages, no. The phone calls were harassing.
Do you have proof of the phone call, sir?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Your counterclaim for pain and suffering is dismissed. I'm ordering you to pay the $600 in unpaid rent. I believe you do owe that rent, sir. Judgment in this case for the plaintiff.
She says his illegal eviction cost her thousands of dollars.
He sent me a message saying I had 72 hours to get my things out of the house because there was a breach of contract because I had dogs he didn't know about.
But he says she's a scammer who's run this con on other unsuspecting landlords.
I don't even know what she's talking about, Your Honor.
Well, it's
she's
on
talking
the text
about
messages.
24 hours, 72 hours. I don't know nothing about that.
Now Judge Faith puts an end to this housing hustle.
So your associate sends out this lease with the wrong information, and your associate has your phone and is sending out text messages that you may or may not be aware of.
Yes, right.
Got it.
Plaintiff Marty Jones says her family was left homeless after she was illegally evicted. She's suing for a security deposit and rental truck. She's accompanied by Michael Barge. Defendant Charles Strode says Marty brought two ferocious pit bulls into the home, breaching a rental contract. He's countersuing for unpaid rent and late fees.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Jones versus Stroud.
Thank you, Juan. Marty Jones?
Yes, ma'am.
You were suing the defendant Charles Stroud?
Yes.
For $3,575 for the return of security deposits and rental truck fees?
Yes, ma'am.
And you are countersuing, sir, for $2,550 for unpaid rent and late fees?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just to sum it up in the beginning, you were living in St. Louis.
Yes.
With your, are you the fiance?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, with your fiance and 3 children.
Yes.
You saw an ad online for a home in Atlanta.
Yes.
And you were the owner of that home, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
And you decided you wanted to relocate to the Atlanta area.
Yes.
So the two of you entered into a lease agreement, you moved to Atlanta, and then that's basically when things all fell apart, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so why don't we start from the beginning, and you tell me what happened when you saw this ad online and you decided to contact Mr. Stroud.
Okay. So I contacted Mr. Stroud on or about March the 8th.
He told me, yes, that it was available. He said there was a $40 application fee.
How much was he asking in rent?
The ad stated $1,000.
And the security deposit was how much?
The same.
Okay, when do you say that amount changed?
Yes, when I spoke with him, he said that it was a misprint, that the person that put the ad online, left $300 off. I'm sorry.
So he was asking for $1,300 and a $1,300 security deposit?
Right.
Okay, did you agree to that?
Yes.
Okay, what happens next? Do you send him money?
Yes, I sent him money.
Did you send him money before or after you signed a lease?
After.
And did you see the home? Did you ever go to Atlanta and see the home before you signed this lease?
No, we were in Atlanta a couple weeks prior, so I didn't have the funds to turn right back around and go back.
So you signed a lease and sent him money without ever physically seeing the home?
Yes.
And what do you say to that?
Not true.
You say she saw the home before she signed the lease?
Absolutely.
When?
She saw it at like the end of February, beginning of March.
Okay, and then she signed the lease?
Yes.
Do you have a copy of the lease?
Yes, I do.
Did you fax the lease to her in St. Louis?
Actually, one of my associates faxed over a copy of the lease.
Okay, but it was faxed to her in St. Louis. You didn't physically hand her the lease?
I did physically hand her a lease once she came. I had a pre-signed one from St. Louis, and I had one signed once she got here. That's the two that I guess that she's talking about.
Okay.
Because I let her know prior to her coming that she'll be signing one once she got to my home.
And what's the reason for having her sign two leases?
Because the first one, I think it was like a draft that my associate did because it was a basic.
Well, are you renting this home or is your associate renting this home?
I'm renting the home, but I have people working for me.
Okay.
And one of my associates printed out one of those basic leases, and I let her know this is just to secure your home for you while you're in transition. She let me know that she needed this lease because she wanted to start sending me some mail. It was the exact same one, but it had the highlights of her pet situation. Because
so it was a different lease?
Yeah, it was just a little bit different based on the fact that she had pets.
So now we have this lease. You sign it. It does say security deposit of $1,000 here, and it says the lease will start on March 15th, and that the rent is $1,000. So did you sign another lease that stated $1,300?
I did, and he knew that I had dogs.
Okay, so we're going to back up for a second, because you just told me that the first lease. The second lease, the change on it was the issue with the pets. But you actually changed the amount of security deposit and the rent.
Because in the first lease, it was a basic computer-generated lease.
But the computer just doesn't generate the price of rent or security deposit.
No. That section was filled in, again, and that was done by
your associate.
Yes, ma'am.
You know you are responsible for what your associates do, right? Because she thinks she's entering into a contract here, and she signs this lease, and it states it's $1,000, and that the security deposit is $1,000, and then the next thing you know, there's a second lease. How many days later?
Actually, it was about a month later, actually.
May I see the second lease?
Yes.
And not only does the rent change, but the security deposit changes. And then why are you shaking your head no?
That's not the case, Your Honor. When
I'm looking at the lease and it says $1,300.
Exactly. That was what the lease was for. The lease was for $1,300, and I let her know we was going to do something temporary for her while she was moving. This is not the lease. She understood that. I understood that.
What's the point in doing that?
Are we talking about the first lease or the
I'm talking about, you're telling me two different reasons. First, you said it was a mistake, that it was computer generated, that your associate printed this out. Now you're telling me that this was just something you wanted to have in place. Did we swear him in?
Yes,
okay, you swore you would tell the truth today? Okay, I'm going to need you to start doing that right now.
Coming up on Judge Faith, the court is asked to make sense of a complicated contract.
Did you ever sign this lease?
I signed the $1,300 one.
Okay, and you did too?
No, there's no signature page on there if you see.
Right, that's why I'm asking.
Plaintiff Marty Jones says she was illegally evicted and scammed out of her security deposit. She's suing for a security deposit and rental truck. Defendant Charles Strode says Marty lived for 2 months rent-free in his home. He's countersuing for unpaid rent and late fees.
So we have this second lease. It's $1,300 rent security deposit. You say she never sent you any money. You say you sent him $2,600, $1,300 for rent, $1,300 for a security deposit.
Yes.
Do you have proof of that?
Yes.
That should be something easy
I have
to prove.
my bank statement and the wire transfer from my account directly to his account.
Okay, sir, and is your testimony before I view this that you never received this money?
And
sir, I don't hear a verbal answer.
No, I never received this money.
Yeah, that's the wire transfer from my account to his. Yes.
Because one of the things you're suing over is this $2,600 you say you did not receive after you moved in and then left the home. We'll get to those reasons in a second. Let me review this evidence. Did you ever sign this lease? Did you all ever, both of you sign the lease? You never signed the lease?
I signed the $1,300 one. The real one.
You did too?
No, there's no signature page on there if you see.
Right, that's why I'm asking.
He said that the signature page.
I don't know what happened to the signature page, but it was a signature page.
I'm sorry. Let me just let you look at this.
He said the signature page would be mailed to my home in St. Louis on a later date, is why he said it was missing. Because I asked, I said, well, where's the signature page? He said, oh, well, I'll mail it to you back to St. Louis. Just initial the top.
She initialed on everything,
yes,
on every page. I initialed, she initialed.
But there's no signature page.
And the signature page was also attached to this lease as well.
Well, you both agree that that's the lease agreement. So, although I'd like to see the signature page, since you both agree that that's it, it's fine. Now let's talk about these wire transfers, because I see here on 2 dates in March. When did you take possession of the home, ma'am?
I took possession April 1st.
And when do you say she took possession?
Like March 1st.
March 1st?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you say April 1st, you say March 1st.
Yes, ma'am.
And why is this lease dated March 15th?
Because that was when she came back. They came and they brought a few things. She left and went back to St. Louis, got this guy and other people.
So you gave her keys on what date?
Whoa. The 1st.
On March 1st, you gave her the keys, and you're sure you're not confusing that with April 1st, because this lease states March 15th.
Right. I came back on the 15th, and that was when the dogs was...
okay, so why is this lease dated after you say she moved in? If she moved in on March 1st, why would she have a lease? Do you agree with me that the lease would be signed prior to her moving in?
Due to the out-of-state circumstances and my circumstances, I was willing to work with her, and she was willing to work with me, and I was trying to explain
Was the lease signed prior to her moving in the home?
Yes and no.
The first one was.
And I have to explain that. Because as she said, they came up there, they were looking around, they were there for a few days, they came to see my home. She paid the application fee. She ran, once she was approved, that was when she had got, you know what I'm saying, the lease, which was like 3 days later.
What date was that?
That was like the 1st, because she came in, that was like February when they was down, and then so around the 1st, you know, that was when she was approved, and that was when she got the lease, and that was when, you know, the first one was done, but they left. You know, they went back to St. Louis to get her things. She wasn't there. So when she came back, she was supposed to bring me all of my money, the first month's rent and the rest of the security deposit, when she came back on the 15th, but that didn't happen. She called me up talking about, at first she said that she had a small dog. It was like a little something that goes in the bag. I don't know what happened to that dog. When I get to the house on the 15th, how the 15th come in the same day that she signed the lease, that was when they was trying to stop me. I had a shower head. I was like, well, let me go back here and change the shower head. I forgot to put it on. When I goes to the bathroom, I see 2 ferocious pit bulls up in there. At that point in time, I said, well, you already know what it is. She was having trouble giving me the deposit on the first little dog that never made it. Then, you know, they show up with 2 pit bulls. I said, no, that's it. You can't be in here. You already know.
You have a completely different story as to what happened.
Yes.
You move with your 3 kids, your fiance, to Atlanta.
Dogs.
What happens when you get there?
Okay, we arrived there on April 1st. I have the budget rental truck for March 31st is when I got the truck to come down on April 1st.
Let me see that, please.
Yes, and I wouldn't drive a budget rental truck without my fiance. I wouldn't even travel without him because I have 3 small children, so I had to have somebody else to drive for me. We didn't get there until about 11 at night because I was 6 months pregnant, so my doctor had mentioned that I should stop every 2 hours to, you know, stand up, use the restroom and everything. So we didn't get down there until 11:30 at night.
And what happens when you get there?
When we get there, he wasn't there. So we waited. He pulls up in this big, giant transformer truck with hydraulic lifts and loud bass, and it's midnight. You know, everybody's trying to sleep. He pulls up in this big, giant truck, basically showing off, I thought.
Part of what she's talking about is partially true, but not true, because I did get there late, but I was just leaving a show. I broke a world record. You know, I broke the tallest adjustable F-350 in the world.
The what?
I built the tallest adjustable F-350 in the world. I broke a world record building.
Okay, I understand you wanted me to see the photo. Let me take a look at it. Okay, that's the truck.
Yes.
That you were driving. All right. And you broke a record.
Yes.
Duly noted.
Right.
Okay. All right. What do you want to say, sir?
We had a situation to where we wanted to get out of the house where we were in now before the first of the month to avoid paying additional fees.
Excuse me, Your Honor. I don't
that
even
part
know.
I understand.
I don't. I'm sorry.
I have not asked you a question.
I'm sorry, but this guy's talking. I don't even know.
You're going to be really sorry in a second if I have to dismiss your case.
Coming up, shifting stories in court reveal a shady scam.
The associate tells them, it's not our fault. You did not get here until April 1st. You told me repeatedly, I need you to stop talking because right now, from where I stand, every time your lips are moving, you're not telling me the truth.
Plaintiff Marty Jones says she paid Charles a lot of money to move into his rental home. She's suing for a security deposit and rental truck. Defendant Charles Strode says Marty never paid him the full amount she owed. He's countersuing for unpaid rent and late fees.
We had an agreement with our current landlord to let us out of our lease early so we wouldn't have to pay. But,
so you could get your things out, move them down to the house, and then come back. That I understand. All right. How does it end up that you're only there for 3 days?
Okay. When we left on the 4th, I think we put a bunch of our things in the garage. We had some things in the house. I started receiving calls from his associate saying that he wanted more money. I told her it wasn't in the original contract, that I wasn't going to do that, and even if so, I couldn't afford to do that. So he then sent me a message saying I had 72 hours to get my things out of the house because there was a breach of contract because I had dogs he didn't know about. I have pictures of my dogs in the house. He knew that I had dogs.
I want to see all the text messages you have. I want to see all of them.
Okay, and for the record, Your Honor, I'm not the 914 number is not my only number, and that's not the only phone that I have. And other people that work for me send messages to my contacts.
So this may or may not be
right. So that's the reason why.
Because this phone, your associates have access to this phone.
Well, his associate has a different number. Her text messages are on there as well.
So your associate sends out this lease with the wrong information, and your associate has your phone and is sending out text messages that you may or may not be aware of.
Yes, right.
Got it.
On the 7th is when he said you have 72 hours to get your things. I then located the DeKalb County authorities and asked them, was this legal? They said no. They then contacted him. So when they contacted him, I guess it made him really mad. So that's when he sent the additional text and said, well, now you have 24 hours. I was trying to help.
Did you do that? Or one of your associates?
I don't even know what she's talking about, Your Honor.
Well, it's
she's
on
talking
the text
about
messages.
24 hours, 72 hours. I don't know nothing about that. All I know is when I got there and I saw that they had them big dogs off in my bathroom, and I had them, I got pretty Bella Wolf floors. I spared no expense
the
in this house.
ferocious dogs didn't attack him coming into the bathroom. Please. One's laid out, stretched. They're small.
There's a brown one over to the right.
A brown one over to the right.
Well, the issue is, did you have written permission to have those 2 dogs there?
There wasn't written permission.
Okay, that's what the lease requires.
Right, but that was after I had given him the money and after I given him the keys.
Okay, but you knew that he didn't want the 2 dogs there when you moved in.
No.
You did not know that.
No.
You're saying you didn't find out until after the fact.
I asked
Your
him,
Honor,
I asked him.
He knew that we had dogs.
Because he had a dog.
That's not true, Your Honor. She called me with a small dog.
So here's what I'm going to do. Do you have your bank statement from the month of March that will show you did not receive a wire transfer into your account?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
It was.
And then I'd like to see your phone, actually.
Okay.
Excuse me.
There's a text message.
There's a text message
I think it's
on
more
my phone.
than fair for me to at least be able to.
I know he put a lot of effort into this story.
I want to see your phone. I don't want either one of you to say anything right now.
Oh.
This is the clincher for me. You say you have this associate. The associate tells them they signed a lease. It's not our fault. You did not get here until April 1st, 2014. You told me repeatedly, I need you to stop talking because right now, from where I stand, every time your lips are moving, you're not telling me the truth.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to recognize the first lease that you say this associate sent in error. And I'm not going to recognize the second lease that you had them to purportedly sign when they get to Atlanta, because you don't get to pull a bait and switch on people when they're signing a lease for property. You told them the rent was going to be one thing. You told them the security deposit was going to be one thing. There was nothing about pets in the first lease. That's what they signed. I know you testified that that was just a pre-lease, but I'm telling you, I don't find that to be credible. That first lease agreement I find to be binding, and they agreed to pay $1,000. They paid you $2,600. I credit her testimony on that. She has proof of that. I'm going to prorate the amount that you're going to refund them based on the 3 weeks that they actually had possession of the home, based on when the lease started, which was March 15th. I'm going to subtract $750 for those 3 weeks from the $1,000. That leaves $1,850 that they overpaid you that you're going to have to refund them. In addition, I am going to order you to refund them for the truck rentals, the 2 truck rentals. That's $904.10. And because I think your behavior was so egregious, and you came into court and committed perjury and said you only received $500 when they proved to my satisfaction that they sent you $2,600, I'm going to order you to pay punitive damages in this case in the amount of $500. My total judgment in this case is for the plaintiffs in the amount of $3,254. Pay them the money.